So welcome to Moon Cat Yoga. So this practice is going to be focusing on a lovely set of postures and sequences for evening. So we're going to be stretching the spine and also bringing some space in the hips before bed, but also cultivating a really lovely sense of calm and peace within the mind and the body, using the breath, some forward folds, and some restorative postures using props. Now, if you don't have a bolster like I do, then by all means you can roll up a towel or a blanket. There's also, you can use cushions. So really whatever you have at home that will create that lovely supporting element to the practice. So let's just make sure that you're in a really nice environment. So perhaps if it's nighttime, you just want to wear something really lovely and comfy, maybe even your pajamas, with the curtains closed, soft lighting to create that really lovely, calming space for you to practice. So let's just take a few moments to settle onto our mats. I invite you to close your eyes or soft focus, either sitting in Sukhasana with your knees bent, feet crossed, or you can take Dandasana if that feels nicer for you this evening. Maybe even sitting with your back against the bed if you're in your bedroom, or a piece of furniture, just to feel really nice and supported. So let's just observe the breath to start with. So noticing the inhales and the exhales, scanning the body. Trying to soften any places where there might be a little bit of tension at the end of the day. Maybe that space between the neck and the shoulder, maybe in your lower back, perhaps your hips. So we're going to really work on bringing some softness to those spaces in preparation for bed. So use each breath to really soften the body and quiet the mind. Really visualize that inhale, breathing in, and then visualize the exhale as you breathe out. And maybe you breathe in a sense of peace and calm, and then with every exhale, you breathe out a layer of tension. So let's just practice that a few times, breathing in peace and calm, breathing out tension. Breathing in peace and calm, breathing out tension. One more. Inhaling and exhaling. Lovely. So if you still have your eyes closed, blink them open. And we're going to make our way to tabletop. So rolling onto our knees, moving perhaps the bolster to the side. I like to practice with knee pads, so I shall pad up my knees. If you don't have knee pads, you can use a cushion just as well. So let's start with tabletop. So really pressing through those hands, and let's begin with cat-cow. So bringing that lovely flowing movement through the spine. So we inhale, the head lifts, the heart lifts, the belly softens, shoulder blades down the back, that gentle hugging in of the upper arms, soft elbows. And then exhale, the movement starts from the tailbone as we tuck under the tailbone, scooping belly, lower ribs. Release the head really nice and slowly. Inhale, coming forward, soften the belly. Maybe taking a pause at the top of the inhale and then exhale. Maybe taking a pause at the bottom of the exhale. One more, inhaling. And exhaling. Lovely. Returning to tabletop. So barrel roll. So this feels like, it's a little bit like the Sufi circles, but we're doing that on hands and knees. So what we're wanting to do is really draw circles with our tummy button. So we're moving into the shoulders, moving out to the side, arching through the back, coming forwards,
And as with Sufi circles, as I always say, everybody's looks completely different, and so everybody's barrel roll will look completely different. So it's working with what feels really nice within your body. So maybe it's more in the shoulders, maybe it's more in the hips. And let's reverse that the other way. So really moving through the body. Lovely. And returning to tabletop. So tucking the toes, we're just going to lift up for downward facing dog. So stretching through the back of the body. Let's paddle those heels up and down. So working through the hamstrings, stretching. So trying to stretch elements of the body in the evening, especially if you've been sat for any length of time, it can feel really nice. Good. So we're going to gently step the right foot forwards. So placing it at the front of the mat, lowering down with the left knee for a lunge. So this is a nice way of stretching the front of the hips. So we're going to inhale, moving the hands forward, but we're going to take the hands to heart center. So lunging forwards. So holding for a couple of breaths, feeling that stretch through the front of the left hip, maybe squeezing the glute. And then slowly plant the hands, tuck the back toes, lifting slowly to downward facing dog. And then slowly we're going to step the left foot forwards, padding up this time the right knee. And again, inhaling, hands to heart center. So this time maybe squeezing the right glute. Might feel a bit tight at the end of the day, so just use that breath. So inhale in peace, exhale away tension. Good. And then planting the hands, lifting all the way back to downward facing dog, nice and slowly. And then inhale to the knees. So here you might want to take puppy pose, which might feel really nice for you, especially if child's pose doesn't feel very restorative. So really encouraging the heart to melt, or we're going to take the knees wide or together and come into child's pose. So sinking those hips back towards the heels, so creating a lovely stretch in the hip. Lovely. And you might want to support your head here, so either reaching for the bolster or taking potato hands and resting the head, just to allow the head to completely relax and the neck to completely relax and the shoulders. So that feels really nice. I want to stay here for a few breaths, so perhaps closing the eyes, focusing on the breath again. One more lovely big inhale and exhale. And then slowly walking the hands all the way back in. And let's make our way to seated. Good. It's going to take a wide-legged forward fold with the option to support the head. So this is where I like to use a bolster, but you can use blocks, you can use cushions. This is an option. So taking wide leg forward fold. If you have anything going on with your lower back, have a bit of a shorter stance, or take them nice and wide. If you have tight hamstrings, placing something underneath the knees can really feel nice as well. So at this time of the day, we just want to do anything to bring softness and calm to the body. So we're wanting things to soften, not to feel nice and not to feel tight. So wide leg forward fold. So I use a bolster, but you can use pillows, you can use a rolled up blanket. And what we're wanting to do is to support the head. So I will probably use a block as well. because it needs to be really nice and restorative. So we're going to inhale, lovely and lengthen, and then slowly moving forwards. And this is where you need to perhaps reposition things to allow the head to be completely supported. I'm going to stay here for a few breaths. So just staying here. Lovely breaths. Focusing once again on inhaling peace and calm, and exhaling away tension. And then inhale, slowly lifting up, moving this to one side. And we're going to take Janu Shirshasana, so wide-legged. So staying here if you wish to, especially if you have anything going on with those knees, or taking the left foot to the top of the right thigh. So grounding through both of the sit bones, taking the right arm to the inside of the right leg as we inhale and exhale as we side stretch. So this is really nice and passive. So we want the arm just to be nice and relaxed, the head to be relaxed. Really nice. Stretching through the side of the body and the lower back, and then inhale and exhale, returning to wide-legged position, and then right foot to the top of, this time, the left leg, so left arm to the inside as we inhale and exhale, and again a passive arm, passive head. We're not wanting to grip or really stretch anywhere. This is just supposed to be lovely and calming and restorative. And then inhale and exhale. So turning back to wide-legged forward fold, we're going to head wide leg position. We're going to take both legs together. So Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. So if you do have really tight hamstrings, coming to this position here might feel really nice for you to lay your belly on your thighs, just to soften the back of the legs. Alternatively, we're going to inhale and then exhale as we're reaching forward. We hug in the lower belly and wherever the hands land. So we might be here, we might be here, we might be here, we might be here. But we're going to create space in the neck. So we want to avoid rounding as though we're diving into water. We want to create space. So we're bringing the shoulders down, creating space in the neck. Just relaxing the head. A couple of nice breaths. And then inhale as we lift and lengthen, and exhale as we lower. So let's take reclining Baddha Konasana. So we're just going to hold this for a bit because it's a really nice way to release tension around the chest and the shoulders, also allowing the shoulders just to come back a little. We do so much in the front here that it's important just to release some of the tension here. So taking Baddha Konasana, we place the rolled up blanket or towel in the base of the spine, also ensuring that you have something to support the head. And then very slowly we lay ourselves along whatever's supporting our body, but supporting the whole length of the spine, and then using a block or a book or cushions to support the head, but allowing the arms just to drift out to the side. And if that doesn't feel comfortable in your lower back, straighten the legs and tuck that tailbone under a fraction. So we're going to stay here for a few breaths. So here we're softening that space just before you have the shoulder. So just at the top of the chest, just below the collarbones. So allowing the arms just to release. And let's breathe in again, that peace and calm. So inhaling peace and calm. And exhale away tension. Maybe even sighing the breath out, inhaling in and exhaling. Let's practice a few more to your own breath. Make them as deep and as slow as you can. Really feel that when you exhale, that tension is just melting away. Good. So 2 more, inhale. And exhale. 1 more, inhale. And exhale. Good. So slowly bringing the knees together, we're going to straighten the legs. And then using the strength of the arms just to press up to seated. So we're going to come to lie on our back. So moving the props out of the way. We're going to slowly lay back down. And let's just rock from side to side. So it's really nice just to take a little rock from side to side. Drawing little circles around the base of the spine one way, then the other way. Good. So then returning the right foot to the mat, we're going to squeeze the left thigh to the belly. And then rotating the hip out, we're going to place the left foot on the right thigh. Like this, that's it. So here you might want to stay for a hip traction where you place the left hand to the middle of the left thigh and press away. This is a really subtle stretch just in the top of the thigh or the side of the thigh or the hip. Or we're going to lift the right leg, link fingers behind the back of the right thigh and encourage both thighs towards the belly. So this is sleeping pigeon. So you should be feeling a stretch through the left thigh, the left hip. Just staying for a couple of breaths. And then returning the right foot to the mat. So fully crossing the left over the right, taking the arms wide. We're going to tuck the tailbone under and just allow both knees to move over towards the right. Now, if that's too strong on your lower back, uncross the legs. But trying to keep both shoulder blades in contact with the mat. We're taking those arms lovely and wide. So maybe now we're thinking about closing the eyes, gathering that awareness inwards. So preparing, thinking about going to bed, going to sleep, having a restful night. And have that as your intention. So whilst we lay here, set that intention to have a peaceful night's sleep, to have a deep sleep. So whatever resonates with you, repeat that 3 times now in your mind with real intention. And then slowly returning back to center. So this time we're going to hug the right knee towards the belly. And then rotate the right knee out, placing the right foot to the left thigh. So once again, you may want to just take the hip up, the hip traction, which feels really nice. It is quite subtle, but it's really nice. Or fully crossing, lifting gently the left leg, linking fingers behind the back of the thigh and encouraging both thighs again towards the belly. Good. Slow, deep breaths. And then returning the left foot to the mat, fully crossing the right over the left. Arms wide, tuck the tailbone, and then allow both knees to move over towards the left. Again, if that's feeling a little bit tweaky in the lower back, just uncross the legs. And you can even move the feet towards the bottom of the mat. Just takes out a little bit of the twist, the strength of it. So it's always doing things that feel really nice for you. Let's just take a few breaths here. And then slowly inhale back to center. Hug those knees in once more, taking a lovely rock from side to side. So before coming into Shavasana, so Shavasana for you this evening, if you're in your bedroom, it might feel really nice to maybe place your legs up against a wall. So that can feel really nice, maybe even placing a cushion underneath the hips to elevate the hips a little bit. If you do take this option, the moment your feet start to feel like they don't belong to you anymore, it's time for them to come down. Alternatively, if you have a chair, you can place your feet on a chair, which can again feel really nice. Or you can lie on the bed at this point and come and lie on the bed. Maybe even cover yourself with a blanket. So just do now whatever feels comfortable for you. So either lying with your legs up against a wall, your legs onto a chair, or coming to lie on your bed. So whatever feels really nice for you now. So we're just going to take a few moments to focus on the breath as we lie in Shavasana. So we're going to visualize inhaling and exhaling a glowing wave of warm, glowing light. Cozy energy flowing as you inhale from the head, washing all the way down to the toes. And then as you exhale, it's going to travel and wash all the way from the toes to the crown of the head. So visualizing this glowing light, inhaling and flowing, and exhaling and flowing. Just filling you with this really warm energy, this soothing, sleepy energy. So continue visualizing that with every inhale and exhale. And just feel your body feeling more and more relaxed and heavy and tired as you inhale and exhale. So we're just going to pause here for a moment, just while you continue to do that. So feeling tired, feeling your body soften, feeling it become so heavy. So we're going to slowly bring your awareness just gently back into your body. So deepening the breath a little. Maybe moving your head from side to side. If you have your legs up the wall or on a chair, just bringing them back down, and perhaps lying on your side or coming to lie on your back. But we're just going to take the arms above the head, lying down just for a moment, and then taking the palms together, placing the thumbs to the space between the eyebrows. And once again, set that intention for your sleep. So repeat it 3 times with belief in your mind, your intention for your sleep this evening. And then hands at heart center as we bow forward and we say together, Namaste. Namaste.
So I hope you're feeling stretched in a good, nice, relaxing way, and also feeling nice and sleepy and tired and calm and relaxed. And before you hopefully go to bed and have a really lovely sleep. So as always, any comments, any feedback, please just drop them below, and I hope I'll see you again at one of my videos or classes. Thank you for joining me.